Hey everybody, I want to do basically a video walk around and a test drive on my old diesel dually. I've had this since 2016 and I basically have obsessed about this truck the whole time I've had it. I absolutely am in love with it, but I bought it in 2016 with 117,000 miles on it, and now it has 123,000 miles on it. It came out of Mississippi, no rust, and I don't drive it in the winter. It has not been in the snow, and honestly, what is that? That's just under 6,000 miles that I've put on it since 2017 or 2016, sorry. It's just a truck that turns heads. It's actually, it was very rare, even while these trucks were around. This particular model was very rare because it has the conversion van interior. It's a coach conversion that was sold new like this from the dealership. And I just kind of had it parked here, and I'm going to back it out and take it for a drive. I put new tires on it, I think last fall. I've got a list with dates of everything I've done to it while I've had it. These tires were put on in 2016. They still got some good tread on them. They're still pretty good. Those have less than 500 miles on them, the four rear tires that I had put on new. I think the only thing that's not on the list is the new fuel pump that I put on it. This is an IDI indirect injection diesel. It's like a school bus engine from back then, you know. 7.3 diesel. It's the second year that they offered the 7.3 diesel, I believe, in these trucks. So the fuel pump is a mechanical fuel pump on the side of the block, just like in an old Camaro or an old Chevy Chevelle. I think I paid $20-something for the fuel pump and put it on. Everything on it's inexpensive. I just had new glow plugs, a new glow plug actuator, and a new alternator put on it just last month. The alternator, the glow plugs were weak anyway. They were getting weak, and I was having to warm them up 2 times to get it to start, and it would smoke. And now it starts right up cold and doesn't blow any smoke, runs smooth as silk. So I went with the OEM original glow plugs and had them do the actuator and everything. I said, while you're doing it, do it all. Of course, I've been like that every time I did anything with this truck. New radius arm bushings down below. You can see them still down in there. I guess they're a few years old, but like I said, I've only put like, 5,000 or so miles on the truck since I've owned it. It's got some clear coat issues going on with the paint. It's original. I have not had this truck like painted. There's never been body work done to it. I had the hood painted. I had the hood painted early this year. It had like here and here rock chips where the paint had flecked off, and it had some rusty surface rust, some surface rust type spots starting where the paint had come off like from just rock chips, and it had been just starting to happen. I wanted to get on top of that. I did not want any perforations in the metal. So I had that done just on the hood, and other than that, it would still be all original. It's got the visor, which is nice, and the cab lights and the marker lights. I tried to make it as politically incorrect as I possibly could, right down to the flag that says infidel on it. I have used it to tow some stuff and to haul some stuff, even though it has the historical plate on it. Not supposed to, but just mainly around here. I towed my camper with it a few times. 35-foot camper that was right at 10,000 pounds or so. And it's got the Class 5 bigger hitch receiver. You know, most trucks have a Class 3 hitch receiver, even the 1-tons. So if you look at my hitch, it's got an adapter in there that pops out so you can feed a normal Class 3 hitch into it. And of course, I put a new trailer brake controller in it not that long ago. The cap is missing, but everything still works. And underneath this, I don't know if I can pull this up. You can, well, shoot, it's kind of dark under there. I've got pictures. I'm going to find the pictures on my other laptop that I took before I had this bed liner put in. I just had this put in last fall because I wanted to preserve it. I had them sand and seal the entire inner bed because it was starting to get some surface rust. The fenders have a few little dents on the inner fenders from basically over the years. I mean, the truck is old, over the years where people had thrown stuff in the bed and put some little dents in there, you know, like you see on a heavy duty truck. The lights all work on the headache rack. I love that headache rack. Oh, what I was going to say. So it was used to pull a fifth wheel, or like a gooseneck trailer, and it does have the wiring in place just inside that one side over there for a fifth wheel trailer. Personally, without a turbo, you know, it'll pull whatever you hook it to, but it's not going to get in a hurry doing it. And that's just how they are. Check out all the pictures. This is the only wear is on the driver's seat, because honestly, and this is all original. It's never been reupholstered. Oh, and right here, you know, from the driver's arm. But if you look over here and in the back, it is absolutely gorgeous and perfect. Indirect lighting and spot lighting up there. And of course the CB and the speaker up there. But check the pictures. The carpet has like no wear on it, no fading. Absolutely gorgeous throughout. This is the worst part of it right here, because of course that's where the driver was sitting. The carpet throughout, I took the mats out and took pictures of everything. No wear or snags or tear back here. I mean, this thing is correct, and all of the gauges work. Oh yeah, and like I said, it came out of Mississippi. Up underneath there, you can still see the paint from the factory. Like, I'm gonna go back up to the muffler shop and see if they'll put it on the lift and let me take some pictures of it, because the guy asked me where the truck came from, and as you can see, it's been in Mississippi and inspected every year until it came up to Ohio by way of Kentucky, and then I got it from a guy in southern Ohio close to the state line down there. I love this hood emblem, by the way. I've looked on Etsy and Pinterest and everywhere. I cannot find a hood emblem like that anywhere, because I thought if I got rid of this, I'm going to fix up the rust on my Super Duty and put a new flatbed with a headache rack on it and a big grill guard and stuff, fix all the rust on it. I'd like to have a pretty cool hood emblem, and I can't find anything like that. So, but this goes with the truck, so I'm not going to take it off. This is like a very convenient, nice tailgate. It was on it when I got it. And oh yeah, it's got the Longhorn mud flaps on it down there, which look pretty neat. So I don't know if it was like for towing cattle or towing horses or something originally, if that's what they used it for. But the guy that I bought it from did have some cattle, and he said he needed a four-wheel drive. This is only two-wheel drive. So I was happy to take it off his hands. Air conditioner is ice cold. Rhymes with old, I guess. It's been retrofitted to our R134A. Just look at the list of everything that I had done. Bluetooth stereo that will blow your brains out, because I had Best Buy put new kicker speakers in it. So it sounds really great. All right, so we got the wait to start thing. There are actually instructions up here, but I know how to do it. I'm sorry, it's just, this thing's all original. Yeah, 23494, 5-digit odometer. Okay, there we go. Now with an IDI diesel, it's not like a Power Stroke, not like my white truck. So you turn it over and apply a little bit of fuel and then let off, and it'll start after it cranks a little bit. That is a totally cold start after it's been sitting for what, 2 days. Has not been started for 2 days. Here, let me go out back here real quick. No smoke at all. Does not blow out a puff of smoke or anything. And it starts in cold weather good too. You know, if you look up videos of IDI diesels on YouTube, these guys are always kind of messing with them to get them to start, or they're already warmed up when they try to start them. That was a completely cold start. In fact, let's get some AC going here. All right, so cruise control does not work. It never has, but every gauge on it does work. Let me show you something on the fuel. The twin tanks, it's got 30 gallons total. The rear tank is 10 gallons, I think. Yeah, the rear tank is 10 gallons. You hear it just idled down. And the front tank is 20 gallons. And the fuel gauge always goes right there. I don't care if that front tank is full or empty. The float in the front tank is not working, but the gauge is properly. They checked voltage on it for me like a couple of years ago. It's just always been like that. So I use the front tank first. And let's see, tripometer is showing 69 miles since I filled them up. And I go about 200 miles and I switch to the rear tank. So that's what I do with it. That way I never run out. I did almost run out one time on that front tank. It reminded me of a motorcycle, like when you have a pitcock and you, like on the old motorcycles, and you forget to turn your gas on and you start riding and it goes, it starts bogging down. And I was like, holy crap. And I hit the button and it just took a second to get the fuel back up to the vehicle, to the vehicle's engine. So I'm backing up. Don't want to bump into anything over here. I got to park down here at my car lot. If you're wondering why there's so many cars around here, I'm selling this truck and I'm going to sell my boat over there. My wife's not on board with the boat, so I guess no sense having that and not using it a lot either. But this thing, the exhaust is tight. There's no rattles in it. New shock absorbers, I think 2 years ago. Like, again, refer to the list. But I'm going to take it down the road here. It goes down the road completely smooth and quiet. Very, very comfortable. Whoop. And sometimes I forget and try to shift it like I do my my Power Stroke. It's got a different kind of shifter in it. Synchronizers are all good at the transmission. You just don't shift it real fast. I get in our little Audi and I'm like, boom, 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 you know, shifting real quick shifting them. This is the old design. It's not designed to do that. And go back down to 4th gear. Just drives like a dream. If you look on YouTube, I've put up several videos of it, whether I was towing a car out of town to an auction here and there. You know, I just felt like taking this truck instead of the white one because it's just so comfortable. But it's not really geared to go that fast. I'll run at 65, 70 at the very top. If I get up a little higher, the RPMs are up higher than I want them to be. You know, I always use the Rotella oil on it when I change the oil. You know, the good stuff, the name brand stuff. And I also use the anti-cavitation additive when I flush the coolant, which I've done several times. I've babied this truck, and even though I've used it for towing a few times, and I used it even to tow our camper once or twice, I went to Mohican State Park, which was an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half away, I guess, towing the camper. You know, it doesn't have the power of the 7.3 Power Stroke turbo diesel like my white truck has in it, but it goes down the freeway just fine. It's just very stable and very smooth. But my hope, see, I mean, like, look at the dash, no cracks. You don't ever see that. No interior pieces missing. See the wood grain trim there and there and stuff. No cracks in any of the trim pieces. You just don't see that. So my hope is that somebody will take this thing and just turn it into their baby and maybe not put it to work, although it is ready to go to work. I don't want, after I've loved this thing almost like it was my little adopted child, I'd like to see somebody get this that would just cherish it. I'm shifting through every gear as I'm talking, you know, and it just shifts perfectly. I had the new clutch put in it, like, I don't know, maybe a year or less than a year after I bought it. And the clutch, when I got it, it was really stiff. And sometimes it made a noise almost like a throwout bearing was squealing some, just sometimes. But it was still working, you know, it wasn't broke down or anything. So it was very inexpensive to do. And the clutch kit did not cost much money at all. So everything on this truck is just simple, tough, and inexpensive. And I love that about it. But once again, I feel like I'm just not using it enough to have it sitting here with my money tied up in it. And I never drive it in the winter. I have never had it out in the snow even once. Which two-wheel drive dualies are not very good in the snow anyway, if you know anything about them. They're just not. Here, I'm going to turn around in this parking lot. But it is just a dream to drive. Well, this guy's going kind of fast. Now, a lot of times, almost all the time, I don't start off in the granny gear, the number 1 gear. I'll start off in second gear. It's technically a 5-speed, counting the granny gear. It starts off just fine. But if I was towing my camper, or maybe a car that was bigger, I'd start off in the gear number 1. If I'm towing like a Honda Civic on the little tow dolly, which I've used, something like that, I don't even go to the granny gear. If I come to a stop sign or something like in my neighborhood, and I'll go down to a rolling stop. Here, I'll show you. I'm in 3rd gear, say. A rolling stop, I'll get like this. I can idle right through that stop sign, and if I get pulled over, it's still so smooth, no jerking or anything. If I did get pulled over, I'd try to explain to the policeman that a rolling stop, still in 3rd gear, is still a stop, even though it's a rolling stop, but I'd probably still get a ticket. So yeah, it's totally smooth. It doesn't, none of that, you know, when you try to take off or anything. Shifts totally smooth, handles perfect, no vibrations, and super comfortable. It's like 86 degrees out. Let me click the air conditioner up a little bit. Check out the pictures. The headliner, the carpet, all of the details, the door panels. Everything is just so good in this truck. While it is not something that's been a frame-off restoration, it's an original truck. It was just in Mississippi, so it's not rusty. It wasn't even close to the ocean. It was in northern Mississippi. And this is like something that's next to impossible to find now. There. And you don't have to search for your gear. It just clicks right in. Oh, let me get in front of this semi. Sounds great. Now, a lot of times, if I'm just out cruising it, I'm just above an idle. Right now, I'm getting on it. Whoops. Right, there's a red light coming up. Right now, I'm getting on it more than I typically would. So, starting off when this light turns green, which may take a minute, I'm going to drive it like I would normally be driving it, like around Grove City where I live, which is basically an easy start in 1st gear, and then maybe to 3, and then I might skip 4th gear and just go straight to 5, and literally just operating it above an idle. Running around town, I like almost all in-town driving, starting and stopping, I averaged 15.5 miles to the gallon, which is incredible. You will not find a 460 big block V8 gas truck that will even come close to that, and that was in town driving. This will do about 17 and a half. I don't think you'll really hit 18, but literally I've done 17 and a half highway with like 90% highway, 10% in town, traveling with this thing, just running unloaded. Come on, light. So it's actually quite efficient for such a big monster. All right, so anyway, we'll start off and then go to 3rd. And then I'll just go ahead and pop it on over to 5th gear. And that's kind of what I do. And this thing will run below 1,000 RPM in 5th gear at the lower speeds in town, just idling down the road. Smooth as silk, quiet and nice. And you know what? If I know this is not only better than the other trucks I have seen on the Truck Trader. I started researching these things to see what they're selling for, and even some of them they'll list it as a diesel, and then I'll read the description and it'll say gas, and I'm like, wow, okay, there's no comparison. The diesel is 100% superior. I got people behind me that are not out in a hurry now. there is the microphone for the Bluetooth. You can actually take a phone call by hitting that button, and it's so clear, and they can hear me really well, and it comes right through the speakers of the stereo, but they can hear me talking without me having to speak up. When they initially installed that stereo, they put it down there by the stereo, and the noise from the truck or the drivetrain or whatever, because it was down there, it wasn't very good. So I took it back and I had to move it up here, and you can hear it very clearly. So it's actually really nice, but does not run hot. This truck does not leak. It's kind of weird, an old diesel that doesn't leak. My 99 Power Stroke, that white truck, it leaks. It's got a little drip to it. But yeah, everything's working properly on it. Like I said, cruise control is the only thing that does not work. Power windows work, power locks. There's no CB antenna attached up there, so you don't really get reception on the CB, but I never mess with that thing. I just leave it up there because it was part of the original package. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I mean, that was from a dead cold start. Now it's fully warmed up. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking, and I'm gonna head on down the road a little ways, just so you can listen to the truck itself. There's no rattles in this truck, no suspension noise, no drivetrain noise. So here, let's get it going. Over 65 on this road, you get a ticket. It's supposed to be 55. Sorry about that glare from the sun. I'm trying to get a good clear picture of the gauge package. I do love this truck. I'd take this thing over an antique car any day. I just got a thing for trucks. Where I have it insured, they appraised it at $20,000, by the way. That's in its present condition, and that was about, I want to say about 2,500, 3,000 miles ago on the odometer. So it was actually appraised at 20. So it is what it is. I'm open to an offer, just not a crazy offer. But contact me and let me know. I've done my best to treat this thing like it was my baby. I could drive this thing all day, man. Alright guys, well have a great day, and thanks for your time watching the video. I know these old trucks are getting next to impossible to find, and I've not seen a truck anywhere with this interior package on it, anywhere at all, let alone the cool cowboy stuff that was put on it, and it's been on it since it was new. I mean, they might have put it on when it was a year old or something, but this is stuff that has been on it for over 30 years. So just not something that you can just find anywhere. I mean, and I'm talking like anywhere in the country for sale. I just don't think there's anything out there like this, and certainly nothing out there that has been loved the way that I have loved this truck. Yeah, but thanks again for your time.